Hi, wild-hearted being. I'm in my pillow fort giving a talk about Reiki to you right now. Here's my unicorn, and here's my Pegasus, and there's my cat. Okay, so I was just thinking about what I wanted to talk with you about. I want to talk with you about Kuramayama, which is the sacred mountain, Mount Kurama, which I have never been to actually. But I was actually going through this book, Reiki in Japan, by Asaki Nishina. The subtitle of this is A Cultural View of Western and Japanese Reiki. And it's really important, right, isn't it, that we read books by Japanese people about Reiki, isn't it? Because it's from Japan. And we need to understand Japanese perspective on Reiki, right? Don't we? And to support Japanese teachers and practitioners. So yeah, I'm really glad to have read this. And it actually was really good because it showed me about, it pointed me more to think about the Shinto worldview that's in Reiki, which I love and I'm loving to learn more about. But I don't agree with something he says. I don't agree with it. And that's okay. Here you go. What I don't agree with is I think it's chapter 1, he's talking about some of the things that Western practitioners or Western Reiki has kind of wrong about Reiki. So it's really good chapter. Like Reiki originated in Tibet and things like that. But this one, okay, I'll read this out, right? Reiki energy is related to Mount Kurama. Okay, so that's the point. So he's saying this is not actually true, which is true, actually. I agree with that. But I'm going to explain it. So he says Mount Kurama, where Kura means saddle and Ma means house, seems to occupy a privileged place among many Reiki practitioners. This is because they blindly relate Reiki to Mount Kurama without fully understanding what Reiki is. Despite Usui being on the mountain when he discovered the existence of Reiki energy, Mount Kurama has no special relationship with Reiki itself or with the symbols used in Reiki techniques. So, yeah, I agree. Well, I actually do agree with that to some extent. But the thing I don't agree with, right, is this. Sure, okay, Usui did discover Reiki energy on Mount Kurama, but he had a great enlightenment, which isn't just about discovering Reiki energy, is it? It's actually a lot more than that. A great enlightenment is seeing into the nature of existence, of which I could say Reiki is part of. So that's the first thing. But I'm going to say I agree. Maybe people do get a little caught up in Mount Kurama, Kuramayama being special and sacred. But that's a lot of things. It's we can get a little caught up with the symbols, special sacred symbols, and this special sacred symbol and this special sacred place. It's got more importance than any other place in the universe. But the entire universe is actually sacred when we see that it's sacred. So it's not that Mount Kurama is extra sacred. The ground that I'm on now is sacred ground. Even though it's now a suburb, this ground where I am is sacred. So it's no more sacred. There's no more special Reiki energy on Mount Kurama. But here's the thing that I want to put alongside that, and that is and I honor his book, I honor all of that, but it's just inspired me to share this, and that is that Kuramayama is not a special place where Reiki exists and it's more powerful and everything, even though I've heard it's very, very amazing. Like probably a lot of the sacred mountains, right? But it is just Mount Kurama. It's the place just where Mikao Usui had his great enlightenment. He went up there to do the austerity practices of what I understand, or people understand, was probably a Shugendo practice that he was doing, which makes him a Shugenja. And that's where he did it. And so that's important because it's part of the story. I'm not saying it's important because, we need to know the story and share the story because it's this and that. I just mean because the story itself is a living story. That it's something that happened, and it's part of Mikao Usui's story. And Mikao Usui shared his practice. He shared his practice with us, didn't he? He actually said, I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to share this practice. It's normal to hide these practices and keep them hidden within families and things in Japan, but I'm not going to do that because the world needs that. And that's part of his story. And part of his story is that he went to Mount Kurama. Not any other mountain, he went to Mount Kurama. And Mount Kurama is the only Mount Kurama on Earth. So to me, in the same way that Hawaii Takata and Shujiro Hayashi are important to the story, we wouldn't have Reiki without them. Mount Kurama is not just any mountain. It's the mountain where Mikao Usui went and had his great enlightenment. And because he went there and had that great enlightenment, he shared this practice. And this mountain is as important as any of those people. It's the mountain that helped birth this practice. See, we see the land as, it's the land. It could be any mountain. It could be any place, but it's not. The land embodies spirit. The land is spirit. And so Mount Kurama is important. It's important. So here's a poem I wrote about Mount Kurama, because Mount Kurama is like any other person here. Okay, here it is. Kuramayama, O great Kuramayama, though I met you only through my teacher's hands as she performed her ritual for me to help me see clearly in this Reiki light that I already had, and I was, and am. Though I have not stepped foot on your ancient body, your dream has touched me, great being. Your story has crossed the globe. So many come to your shores, climb and walk and seek in your womb. Thank you, great being, for your gift. Thank you, Usui Sensei, for your kindness and diligent practice and courage. Thanks, Kuramayama. Thank you. I'm really grateful.